Okay, so we got Diddy's house being raided by federal. You already know.
I was shocked. I was taken back. I was really shocked. I mean, I never even expected this to happen.
More people coming out. Who's this guy? Yeah, they're all kind of dressed
Definitely
alike.
shocking and hectic out here in Holmby Hills at one of Sean Diddy Combs' homes. We were first on scene as it all unfolded. We came right in the middle of the convoy of about 40 undercover law enforcement vehicles before they even put up the crime scene tape. The Department of Homeland Security making a big bust, officers say, in connection to a sex trafficking investigation. While it was all happening, investigators were also raiding his home in Miami.
Dang.
Homeland Security has not yet released details or named Diddy as the focus of the investigation. The 20-year-old Ryan Mendelsohn, he's lived nearby his whole life, and he often visits his best friend just a few doors down.
But I've seen maybe once a week girls lingering outside. I drive by a lot, and I see that a lot of girls, maybe 5 or 6 girls outside. Some leaving, some not, some going in, black Suburbans. Never know. I never thought anything of it, but now this is crazy. I mean.
As we broke word on scene and from Skyfox, Mapleton Drive near Sunset and Beverly Glen became a madhouse. And as more Bearcats and undercover cops pulled in, so did the swarms of onlookers, even a celebrity tour bus.
We all have to keep our minds open to what's going on here. And then,
They ain't
this
playing.
is from Brooklyn, though. Leave Puffy alone, man. Y'all crazy.
He said leave Puffy alone.
There are a lot of questions tonight, including Diddy's whereabouts. TMZ is reporting he was seen at a high-end executive airport in Miami pacing while the raids were going on. Today, I spoke with criminal defense attorney Bayoji Akingbola of the Akingbola law firm to gain more perspective on this situation.
Dang.
Obviously, this is a crazy case. We have Homeland Security raiding multiple homes of P. Diddy at the same time. What does that tell us?
Well, for one, in order for Homeland Security to even be able to enter into someone's home, that means that there was a federal court judge who signed off on a search warrant to search for the home. Which means at the very least there's probable cause to indicate there's some reason to believe that there's an evidence of a federal crime inside those two households.
And I know they've hit Miami, Los Angeles, and we saw some of his sons in handcuffs. That doesn't necessarily mean they're being arrested, though, right?
Yes, absolutely not. It could be some form of detainment, especially when you're involving law enforcement officers entering into a household. That's a lot of unknown variables. They want to make sure that they're safe. So if there's people that happen to be inside the home, you want to make sure that they're detained and secured so the officers can do their job freely without any concern of anything happening while
they on Diddy's neck, man. They on Diddy's neck.
And of course, we haven't heard or seen Diddy at all in any of these raids.
Well, we haven't heard or seen Diddy in these raids, but I think it's important to look at the history of how we got here. There have been several civil lawsuits detailing accusations of human trafficking.
They not raiding for
the
nothing.
use of illicit drugs.
They ain't raiding for nothing.
Non-consensual
Ain't no
sex,
he say, she say on no raid like that
workers.
on both
and
houses.
It appears that it seems as though federal law enforcement officers have been paying attention to those lawsuits and want to do some poking around to see if there's any evidence that these accusations actually give rise to federal crimes.
And of course, when you look at civil lawsuits, you think it's civil, but federal investigators or law enforcement simply can't ignore, you know, these major allegations of sex rings and drug trafficking. So they had to take some action.
Absolutely, and we're seeing this trend where civil lawsuits are giving rise to criminal investigations. We've seen that with Jeffrey Epstein. We've seen that with Harvey Weinstein. We've seen that with R. Kelly. Where there's smoke, sometimes law enforcement officers believe there's fire. And based upon some of the empirical evidence, sometimes that happens to be true. So it appears that, you know, this is a very well-known person. He's well-known in Hollywood, so this is going to be a big case for federal.
There's a lot crashing down on Diddy. He losing everything. Money from liquors, advertisement.
The ex-girlfriend, right?
Yes.
What happened in that case when she filed a civil lawsuit, not criminal?
So she filed a civil lawsuit detailing that she was sometimes forced to have sex with sex workers while being drugged. And as soon as that lawsuit came out, they quickly settled. That's not an admission of guilt, but certainly there was reason to settle. After that happened, there was a string of other lawsuits that came out. At least 3 other women also made similar accusations of having sex with sex workers.
Slow down,
being
Diddy.
drugged.
Slow
and that led to the most
down.
bombshell case, which is actually
Slow
by
down.
a former producer on Diddy's album, the Love album. His name was Rodney Jones. And he not only made those accusations, but he also had his form of receipts. Now, we don't necessarily know if those receipts are accurate. They haven't been proven in court. Right. But he provided pictures in his lawsuit detailing that P. Diddy and his children, his sons, were having sex parties with underage sex workers, that oftentimes people were drugged, that he himself was drugged and woke up in the bed of sex workers and Diddy, detailing that P. Diddy usually would record these incidents, which is another reason why law enforcement officers may be interested in looking into these homes. Sexual assault cases can be very difficult to prove. Human trafficking cases can be difficult to prove. And the way law enforcement officers typically try to prove those cases is by looking into cell phone data, video footage. In the lawsuit,
they're gonna
which
look
was a
through
75-page
all that,
lawsuit,
believe me.
Mr. Jones detailed that P. Diddy often would record these acts on his own cell
They
phone,
probably already
as
done
well as
been
hidden cameras throughout the house.
through all that.
So do we think an arrest is anytime close or soon? Or are they just gathering evidence?
They're just
at
getting
this
evidence.
point?
At this point, it's too soon to speculate as to whether or not anyone will be arrested.
They just get
it
some
seems to be an
evidence.
investigatory measure. If there is enough evidence in those homes, then certainly we could expect an arrest sometime down the road.
Okay, well, dang, Diddy, you gotta slow down. See, sometimes when you start getting a lot of money, man, you know what I'm saying, you start feeling yourself, your power, you use it and abuse it. I mean, we've been hearing stuff since Pac, you know what I'm saying? You think you just slow down and go L7 after all that, but if you want to feel superior, like you're untouchable, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you can get, you know what I'm saying. Hey, but peep it out. Ain't nothing been proven yet, man, you know what I'm saying. That's a little footage on, you know, Diddy's house is being raided, man, you know what I'm saying. Once again, thank y'all for tuning in to Desi 1080p TV. We just gonna keep it rolling, man. We just gonna keep it moving, man. You know what I'm saying? Once again, I am Desi, man. You know, I'm out the Quad City, Midwest area. We trying to get this channel growing, you know what I'm saying? So if y'all would like to follow the page, I'm gonna keep dropping videos. That way, if you follow, you'll see it pop up in your timeline. Once again, that's Desi 1080p TV on Facebook. So until next time, I holla.